VLOOKUP is like reading the menu at a coffee shop. It goes down the first column until it finds what you're looking for, and then it goes over to find the category of what you want, and it returns the information in that cell. So, for example, if I want a latte, I'm going to go down column A and find the latte, and then I know I want a medium latte, so I'm going to go over 3 columns, with column A being the first column, so 1, 2, 3, and I know that a latte in size medium costs $4.75. So that's how VLOOKUP works. Now, how does it work for teachers? So I have this list that I asked Bard to generate for me. It's all fake data, but it's student IDs, their name, and their score on the mid-year assessment. On this tab, I have a list of student IDs, their name, their English level, and whether or not they have an IEP and what their IEP is for. So I want to know how my test scores correlate with my IEP and English level data. So what I need to find out is each student's IEP score each student's English level and their IEP score. So I'm going to label these columns first, and then I'm going to use VLOOKUP to find out. So the formula for VLOOKUP is equal VLOOKUP, and as soon as I type VL, this pops up because Google is super helpful. I'll click on it, and it gives me the summary of how I build this formula. So it tells me each part of the formula, and if I scroll down, it will tell me what each thing means. So first I'm going to start out with the search key. So the search key is what I'm looking for in my data. So I'm going to use the unique identifier for each student, which is their student ID number. So I want to find out if John Miller, whose student ID 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I'm looking for that student ID in my student data range. So in this, Google's super helpful this way. I'm looking in A through D. This is all the data I'm going to use. So I'm just selecting all of it. And then I need my index, and the index is the column number. So the very first column is my unique identifier, and that is where I'm starting. So this is column 1. Column A is column 1, and the first data that I'm looking for is the English level. So column 1 is the student ID, column 2 is the name, column 3 is the English level. So I'm looking for column 3. I want to find out what data is there for a student ID number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in this range of student data. And I want to find out what's in column 3. And this is sorted is very important. It means if the data is sorted, it saves your computer time if it goes to the first closest match it finds and returns that match. But I don't want that. I want an exact match. So I'm going to type false. I'm going to tell the computer my data isn't sorted so that it's going to only give me exact matches. Then I hit enter. When I do, it pops me back to my screen. And so now I'm seeing that John Miller is a level 3 ESOL student. Now to get all the rest of my students, I just drag this formula down, and now I have the ELP levels of all of my students. All right, I'm going to do the same thing for their IEPs or their disabilities. So I'm going to type equals and VLOOKUP. And now I find my search key, and that's the unique identifier. It's what I'm looking for in my data set. So I'm going to click on A2. That's my data. Then the range that I'm looking in, and the range always has to start with the same column of where you're finding your unique identifier. So I'm going to search in A through D, and then my index, which is my column number. So this time I don't want 3 because that'll give me the English level again. I want column 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, my data is not sorted. I'm going to hit enter. And now I know that John Miller has a learning disability. I'm going to drag that formula down so that I can see all of my students and their IEPs. So if you see here, this VLOOKUP formula in E2 is looking for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in A2. If I go down one, E3 is looking for A3. So I'm looking for a different identifier each time. And that's how you use VLOOKUP in an educational setting. Now it's your turn to try. Click the link in the description and give it a try for yourself. See if you can find the ELP and the IEP for each student on the list.